In this installment, we have a Super Bowl 57 rematch here. The Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. This will be our Monday Night Football showdown slate for Draftkings. Let's get into it. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Chef D, and I'm here to bring you the winning ingredients for our Monday Night Football showdown slate on Draftkings. We have a Super Bowl rematch between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles here. Before we deep dive into this very, very intriguing slate, guys, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MetsNetChetsD. Don't forget about that TikTok at Chef_D91, and don't forget about that Patreon. So, guys, if you are currently a viewer and not currently a subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button right now. We are currently at 1.46 thousand subscribers. Let's continue to push that forward and get to our goal of 1.5 and eventually 2K, all right? You already know the deal, guys. We're going to kick things off with the injury report here. So far on the Eagles side of things, the only guy that we already know who's going to be out in this matchup here will be Dallas Goedert, all right? So it's going to be highly linked upon between their 1-2 punch here with Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. That's going to be the guys that they're going to lean upon. Some other guys are going to have to step up. We'll see if we can find those gems when we get into the flex plays. But as of right now, Eagles only missing one of their leaders on the offensive side of the ball, and that's Dallas Goedert. All right, we don't know yet about Derek Barnett right now. He is out for personal reasons. We'll see if anything comes up right before kickoff with him on that DN, on that defensive line. All right, now for the Kansas City Chiefs, they're looking pretty healthy here. We have a question mark on Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's pretty much it. Everyone else has been a full participant. So we got a clean slate of players here for this Monday Night Football game. Let's get into the captains. Starting things off at that captain position here, we have a lot of options in particular game here. So it's either you get the right high-paid guy at the top at captain, correct, or you try to stuff in as many high-priced guys in your flex and try to find a gem that's a little bit cheaper that allows you to fit in Mahomes, Hurts, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be, you're doing a little bit of a jigsaw puzzle here. Is this game going to be high scoring? Does the Kansas City Chiefs defense step up, which they've been strong all year long? We have weather as a factor in this game as well. We have an Eagles team that's missing their number 2 guy technically on the offensive side of the ball. KC has been strong against the rush and against the pass. But on the other side, the Eagles' pass D has been very poor. They've been giving up a ton of yards and points to quarterbacks and to wide receivers. So we got a little bit of a give and take here. So we're going to start off with Patrick Mahomes. He deserves to be here or at least discussed about at a captain position here going up against these Philadelphia Eagles here. Like I said, if we're looking at fantasy points per game, they are the 4th worst, giving up 20.4 fantasy points per game to opposing quarterbacks. That's going to bode well for Patrick Mahomes, who's been playing very up and down. He hasn't had a strong game since the Chargers in Week 7. He had 16 fantasy points against Miami, 8 against Denver. So struggling a little bit. Can he get back to his normal self? And as you can see, his home and road splits, he plays much better at home in Kansas City. 24.4 at home, 17.1 on the road, as you can see right there. So Patrick Mahomes is going to be coming in as a play that we can consider at a captain spot, all right? Jalen Hurts will be on our list next. He had a phenomenal performance in the Super Bowl in that game, and he's been having a strong campaign this year. As you can see, the consistency throughout the whole entire season. 25 against Dallas, 31 against Washington, 25 against Miami. He's always over 20. You have to put him in your lineups. He's a lock, okay? Mahomes, Hurts, these two probably going to be locks, all right? And then you got to figure out what else to go with. The thing about the Chiefs is The only guy they really rely upon is Travis Kelce, and the only question you got to ask about that, are you going to fade him? And if it comes to that, then you have to fit in these three guys: Hurts, Kelce, Mahomes. And who you think we're going to talk about next at that captain spot? Travis Kelce. We had 2 back-to-back poor performance games here for Travis Kelce. I think this is a spot where he can bounce back. He hasn't had a touchdown since week 7 as well. Things are going to get cooking with Travis Kelce and his best friend there in Patrick Mahomes going up against the Philadelphia Eagles, who are giving up a ton of yards to wide receivers. That's what Travis Kelce is. He is basically a huge wide receiver for these Kansas City Chiefs. Love Kelce, all right? You got a nice trio here as captain plays, and these guys should be in each and every one of your lineups. That's just how it's gonna be. Now, can you differentiate with someone you would pay up for? We will see. All right. So next guy we're going to be talking about is AJ Brown. There's a little bit of a tougher matchup here because, like I said, the Kansas City Chiefs defense against opposing quarterbacks has been very strong. 27th overall, only allowing 14 fantasy points to quarterbacks. If we're looking at that wide receiver position, these Kansas City Chiefs are 25th in the league, all right? So that top 6 right there. This is a very good defense against quarterbacks and wide receivers. You get to factor in that they're going to be home. You're going to have to fade one of these high-priced guys. Will it be A.J. Brown? It could be. It could be even Devonta Smith, but one of the two is going to have to step up as well. So without what's his name? Without Dallas Goedert, Devonta Smith was a beneficiary of his outings last year. So this is going to be my favorite wide receiver on the Eagles side. All right. I'm going to bypass A.J. Brown and I'm going to go and roll with Devonta Smith. We already have a track record of what Devonta Smith did last year with Goddard out, and now we get a very similar situation. All right. They have a nice little funnel here between Smith, A.J. Brown, and they're probably going to have to work in either their wide receiver 3 or work in DeAndre Swift as well as a pass catching option coming out of that backfield. All right. And he's had a little bit of a consistency here in the first 8 weeks, despite the fact that he had under 10 fantasy points against Dallas. Other than that, he's been outstanding. All right. 10, 18, 16, 17, 17, 30. These are the games we're looking for. We're seeing upside here in the receiving department. He has a game with 6 catches. He has a game with 8 catches. All right, so Devonta Smith is going to be an X factor here that we can look at the captain spot because he's a little bit cheaper, and then we can fit in some more guys in that flex option, all right? And then last but not least, as a captain, we will consider Rashee Rice, all right? Rashee Rice has been blooming, all right? I'm waiting for a huge breakout game. This could be it. So there's going to be the cheapest captain we're going to be looking at, and that's going to be Rashee Rice here. He already has 4 touchdowns so far this year. He's looking like the number 1 wide receiver, which is not much to say because all these guys have just been very subpar. And Rashee Rice is a rookie. Usually, rookies in Andy Reid's offense usually tend to struggle. Rashee Rice is totally opposite. He's looking like he's very comfortable in his offense. He's showing that he was definitely worth his draft pick coming out of SMU. I love Rashee Rice as a play here at captain, and definitely someone you can consider as a flex play as well. Let's get into the other flex plays that are going to be very key and going to be cheap that we might have to factor into this match. On to the flex plays that we have here. Just before I go down to the other cheaper guys, I will mention about Pacheco. Pacheco had a solid game in Super Bowl 57. We're just looking at his numbers: 15 carries, 76 yards, and a touchdown there. I think this game here is going to be more defensive. If we're looking at the over-under in this game, it's at 45.5. And this is a primetime matchup. So Vegas does not lie. This game is not going to be as high scoring as the previous Super Bowl was. All right, this is going to be a little bit more closely contested here. Chiefs at home, and their defense has really turned up this season. So that's why I'm leaning more to a more lower scoring environment. So look at some of these guys. Maybe consider kickers and defenses here. But Pacheco, you can look at he's going to have to get in the end zone or provide upside in the receiving department, all right? If things struggle, if they're struggling running the football, he's going to have to do work in that receiving department. We've seen in week 8, 7, and 6 where he had 14 targets in those 3 weeks. That's a positive sign to see. He even had a touchdown as well. So Pacheco can be considered. If you want to save some salary at the running back position but have still access here, Jerick McKinnon is a guy that can win against opposing linebackers and safeties there on the outside in the receiving department. He needs to get in the end zone if you need him to pay off as well. He got in the end zone in week 9. Remember, Jerick McKinnon had that big stretch of games where he had touchdowns, even multiple touchdowns in back-to-back games, where that's what that was leading to them to their playoff run, where Jerick McKinnon was coming on very, very strong. So it could happen again. I'm just letting you guys know with his salary at $5,600. All right, let's continue to go down low here. Kickers and defenses will be viable in this matchup. Okay, Jake Elliott, Bucker. We can look at that. Now, defenses, I'm going to go away from the Eagles defense. I'm going to play the Chiefs defense. I like the Chiefs defense more than the Eagles defense in this game. Like I said prior, they have the home advantage. They looked a very strong unit this year, and you have the factor that Dallas Goedert is going to be out. So someone's going to have to step up for the Eagles. Like I said, it could be Devonta Smith in that one, and we do have a trend of Smith playing better and getting more usage with Goddard out. All right. Now, some of these other cheap plays down low, guys you can consider here. Kenneth Gainwell is the backup running back. They've been splitting carries here. He needs to get in the end zone for him to pay off. He's done it 2 out of the last 3 weeks, so that's a positive sign to see him getting more involved. Kadarius Toney always has some upside to break one because he very, very shifty type of receiver, but he doesn't get that much usage. That's the problem there. So we could probably fade him. All right, let's see some other guys going down low. We have Sky Moore. All these guys down here, you're rolling the dice. Just to be completely honest with you, none of these guys have consistency on the Kansas City Chiefs side of the football, other than Rashee Rice, Travis Kelce. Those are the 2 main guys that you can trust. In everyone else, you're really just hoping. Kadarius Toney, you're hoping. Sky Moore, you're hoping. Even Marquez Valdes-Scantling, you're hoping. For him, he needs to break one at least, and he did it against the Chargers where he had 3 for 84 and a touchdown, 17 fantasy points. That's what you need from him. He's the guy that's going to get the most snaps. If you want just the guy that has the most opportunity, MVS could be your guy at $3,000 in salary, okay? Now, some other guys we can look at with the injury to Dallas Goedert here. Some guys are going to have to step up. So the gem we're going to be looking at will be Alamedeus Zaccheaus, okay? I suspect him to have some more receptions and targets in this game with Goddard out. This is the number 3 wide receiver here for the Philadelphia Eagles. I like him as a punt play in this game on Monday, all right? Look at that. The Kansas City Chiefs even have Mecole Hardman, all right? So he's been very dangerous in red zone situations as well. He has that speed and he's very familiar with that team. He left the Chiefs for the Jets, but the Jets traded him back, and he's still getting some usage here. Getting more usage than Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney. So I would go Rashee Rice. Obviously, Kelce, Rashee Rice, and then Hardman would be the 1, 2, 3 I would be leaning on with this team here for wide receivers on the Kansas City Chiefs side of the football, okay? Now, Alamedeus Zaccheaus is the guy you can factor in as a pass catcher, and then the backup tight end for the Philadelphia Eagles is going to be 2 guys. Let's see if I can find the other one. Do they still have Cal Katera? They still have Cal Katera. All right. He was a guy that we looked at in preseason. He has some upside. They're going to be splitting usage between Cal Katera and Stoll. So these are the two tight ends, the backup tight ends for the Philadelphia Eagles that are going to be getting some usage here. Stoll could play a more important role in the absence of Dallas Goedert, though he didn't catch a single pass in Sunday's game against the Cowboys. Okay, so it's either Stoll or it's going to be Calcaterra. If you want to take that risk on one of the two, Stoll is the next man up. I know Calcaterra has some more upside, though, if we're choosing one or the other. All right. And then down below that, the furthest I would go would probably be Alamedeus Zaccheaus here. I like him as the number 3 receiver here on the Philadelphia Eagles side of the football. All right. Justin Watson's a little bit more expensive here. He's another stretch type of tight end. He gets some love here with 8 targets in the last past 2 weeks. That's a positive sign to see. So, like I said, you're throwing darts at guys we can confide in and believe in and trust. Is going to be Patrick Mahomes. Is going to be Jalen Hurts and Travis Kelce. These guys you need to have in each and every one of your lineups. Now you can differentiate. If you want to go down and get the Chiefs defense, you can. If you want to go and get one of the kickers, that's fine as well. All right, work in one of the backup running backs, and that's how you're gonna have to build the lineup here. It's very expensive. It's either you go with your stud and deal with the rest, or you find a cheap guy and you can fit in Mahomes, Hurts, Kelce, and everyone else there. You have to build a couple different type of ways in this type of lineup build. It's going to be very interesting to see which one prevails, but I am leaning in this game more of a low scoring environment. Okay, that's what I'm leaning towards. The reason why I'm taking Mahomes is because he has a better matchup against that defense, and the reason why I'm taking Hurts is because he has the upside rushing the football. All right, you can't fade it. It's like trying to fade Josh Allen. He's going to get you there, all right? Just like Jalen Hurts. He's going to get you there, goal-to-goal situations. They're going to be running the football with Jalen Hurts. We already know about the tush push, all right? So these are going to be the main 3 guys you need to focus on. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with another video very, very soon, all right? I'm debating about doing our early first look for DFS, or just doing the Sunday Night Football. So we're going to see which one I choose. And I plan to do at least 3 to 4 videos a week, all right, now, all right? Thank you guys for tuning in, all right? Peace out.